So how do you know if you're ready for Facebook and Instagram ads to run in your business and grow? Well, like, as I love to say, Jesus saves. Facebook and Instagram ads do not. And so if your offer isn't selling organically, putting money behind it will not magically fix it, because more eyeballs on a bad business or offer, well, does not a good business make. So how do you know if you're ready for paid traffic, Jamie? Let's break it down.
Let's break it down.
Let's break it down. The key here is, how are you making sales now? And how well is your offer selling organically? Because, well, back in the day, when I first started running ads, clients would reach out to me, or potential clients, and I would end up trying to help them. But I realized a similar trait among client ad accounts. It didn't go so well. And it was the ones who were trying to use ads to prove their offer or develop their offer, rather than just using ads, add fuel to a offer fire that was already burning.
Right.
Right.
So, are you consistently getting sales from your email list? That would be a good place to start.
So this would
Ask
be a
yourself.
scenario where, yeah, right? This would be a scenario where you're growing your email list some way and you're selling to your email list, say, every month. And are we getting sales? Or you could be selling by Instagram stories, right? And regularly converting customers, into, or leads to your DMs, right? So that's the call to action in the Instagram story. And then in your DMs, you're selling.
Right.
That's another way. Or the more typical webinar.
A percentage of your webinar registrants or your challenges, whatever you're doing, are they actually buying?
Yeah, and so this isn't just about like, I'm selling some of my program, kind of. It's like, this is selling well. And the goal is lots of profit. So up here is how much I'm making per lead, let's say in a webinar. And then down here is inevitably how much I'm going to have to pay per lead when I start running Facebook and Instagram ads. And so you want your offer to be selling as profitably as possible. So Jamie, I got my calculator here.
All right.
And we're going to do a little math, because this whole launch world is super straightforward and always the same. Nothing ever goes wrong. So let's say that I made...
That would be sarcasm.
I got...
Because...
Right, yeah, sarcasm. So I got...
Just to make sure we're clear here.
So let's say for a webinar, as we're looking into profit per lead, right? That I got 500 leads.
Okay.
Cool. And I made 100 grand for this webinar. So that could be 100 grand, or 1 with 5 zeros after it, divided by 500 leads.
Yeah.
And that means each lead is
200.
Right. So that means I made $200 per lead. It's pretty nice. So that will be up here. And I'm probably going to be happy at this point. This is just a number, by the way. It's not like, because I was giving a talk last week and somebody asked me, is this number you give like the ideal number, like cost per lead? And I was like, no, it's just a number. It's just a round number that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah. So let's just say we got leads for $20. Cool. Well, then that would mean that every lead would be worth how much?
180.
Yes. Right. Because math. Subtraction. How well can our daughter subtract? Can she do 3 digits yet? Where is she at in math school?
She should be able to. I mean, not in her head,
Not
but...
in her head. Okay. So she can't do this math. Yet, at least. Our kids are in school down here in Mexico. They're at a homeschool. Not us homeschooling, but at another homeschool
group.
that's a bit a ways from us. Because although we were teachers for quite a while in China, we're not teaching our own kids at home. That would be...
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
It would not be... No, it wouldn't work. So at this point, then you calculate that leads are worth $180 because I'm making, 100 grand launch. Hooray! 500 leads, $200 of revenue per lead, minus $20 per lead that you have to pay for Facebook and Instagram ads. So $180 per lead. If you have that kind of profit per lead, well, like not all the time, but in general, that's amazing. Now, do you need to have that kind of profit per lead, $180 margin? No. But you should run the numbers,
Right.
And see how much your leads are worth. And if they're worth, like, personally, I'm not happy if we're paying what, Jamie, per lead? Over what price per lead for our clients? What would you say we can usually get cost per lead under? Usually, in general.
Under 10?
Under 10. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So then, if the listener calculates $20 profit per lead, $30 profit per lead, like, that's a very strong sign that they can run Instagram and Facebook ads. And so the key here is the offer converting.
Right. Make sure you know your numbers. So.
Yep. If you are doing a webinar and you want to lower your lead cost as low as possible while getting the highest quality lead still, then that's what my ad testing cheat code is for.
Right.
It is the way that I lower cost per lead in all my client accounts. And I walk you step by step through it. And like Jamie here sees me actually doing the work in the accounts daily and dealing with the curveballs that Meta throws me, because it's never just straightforward. Although I teach it in a straightforward, easy to understand framework.
Right, right. Very systematic.
I've also added into this course video of me rolling with the punches.
Yeah. Troubleshooting.
Troubleshooting.
Yeah.
And continuing the framework. And so you can see what it's actually like, and how I deal with different situations, thus teaching you how to deal with the inevitable curveballs that Meta will throw at you. That is $37 normally. For you, it's $17. You deserve to be getting the highest quality lead at the lowest cost possible, because that means your business is making more profit, which means you are serving more of the people you were meant to serve, because you've been blessed with skills and passion.
So, QUAY.jo, I have a question for you then. What if you're still in that early stage with not so many sales yet? You're like, I'm getting some sales, but I don't think, based on what we've been saying, it doesn't seem like we're ready to run ads yet. So what do we do?
You don't run ads.
Okay, but what do we do instead?
Well, let's see.
Besides get the ad testing cheat code, and
Right.
if you're doing it yourself, but if we're not running ads, then what do we do?
I remember back when I was in China and I flew myself all the way across the seas to San Diego to participate in a mastermind. And they were like, QUAY.jo, you need to launch a group coaching program. And I was like, how? And they're like, you're going to do it to your organic Instagram audience. And they made me, thank God they did, but they made me. I was so scared at the time.
Yeah.
But go out into the deck before this 2-day mastermind was over, and I had to like pull out my Instagram stories and record something saying like, I've heard what you needed, and because I've heard what you needed, and they made me like make a promise for my group coaching. And so I was like, this is the promise, and then if it sounds like something you need, DM me. And they're like, and then you're gonna sell it in your DMs. And I was like, ah.
Yeah.
And yeah, like 2.5 weeks later, I had like my first 9 people
Right.
in my like, I don't know, $800 7-week group coaching program. And I just proceeded to do that over and over again. So that's one way. But like, look, if you don't have a big Instagram audience or a big email list, you could team up with somebody who's, if you have a podcast, who's been a guest on your podcast, and do cross promotion. One week you promote their lead magnet, the next week they promote your lead magnet to their email list. And you can just find people who serve your niche in a complementary, non-competitive way and hook up with them. Team up, I should say, and cross promote.
Collab, collab, collab.
Collab, collab, collab.
Yeah.
Even if you have to reach out to people, cold, write that email. That's what you do, right, Jamie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the best ways to be able to find more audiences, people who you can both serve each other.
I mean, you're doing it.
Yeah.
And because of it, I'm guesting on more podcasts.
Right.
People who I've never met before, but cool folks.
Right.
I like it when you do it, Jamie. I like it when you do it, because then I don't get super outreach. At least I don't worry so much about, oh, should I reach out to this person, and what if I don't write the email more? It's kind of like you just go and write the emails, and
it is nice when you have someone else promoting you, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like a psyched person. All right, so before you run Facebook and Instagram ads, 2 numbers are important: how much you earn per lead and
how much it costs to get that lead, your cost per lead. So if the gap is big, then ads can scale that up. But if you don't know either number yet, then it's not time for you to run ads.